Order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Mayor, City Attorney, staff, Madam Treasurer, and the City of Romulus. The regular meeting agenda for Monday, February 3rd, 2020 is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. Number 4, chairperson's report. Number 5, mayor's report. Number 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11, communication. And number 12 is adjournment. Mr. Chairman, a motion is to accept the agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. A motion is approved.
Number 2, minutes. Approval of minutes from the regular meeting held on January 27th, 2020.
So moved.
Support,
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe for approval of our minutes on regular meeting held on January 27th, 2020. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Abstain.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
There were no special meetings held on January 27th, 2020. And number 3, Mr. Chairman's petitioner. We do not have any petitioners at this time.
All right.
4, chairperson's report.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. At 6:15, we had a study session for Property Disposition Committee recommendation for offer to purchase some land on Smith Street. At 6:30, we had a study session for infrastructure project update. This time, the chair is going to recognize Councilwoman Abdo.
Thank you. I would like to request a resolution in memory of Donna Plank.
Support.
Donna is survived by numerous people in the city. She's related to some of our city employees, Karen Toner, Craig Plank, Keith Haynes, and I might be forgetting some. She was named in 1989 by the Romulus Roman as Mother of the Year. She leaves behind quite a legacy. 29 grandchildren, 34 great-grandchildren, 1 great-great-grandchild, and numerous children and aunts and uncles.
Mr. Barton,
Yes.
if I could just expand on that. I knew Mrs. Plank along with her husband, Bob Plank, and they were one of the ones that helped me in my first campaign going all the way back to 1983, and may she rest in peace.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe for a memorial resolution. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved. Chair also going to recognize Councilman Wadsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Barton. I'd like a no-fee permit for the garage sale weekend to be held on May the 28th, the 29th, 30th, and the 31st, with a backup weekend in case it would rain for June 4th, 5th, 6th, and the 7th.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo for a no-fee permit. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes?
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved. That concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Webb, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved, thank you.
Number 5 on the agenda is mayor's report.
Good evening, City Council, Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, and audience. Tonight I picked a quote, this was just on my heart. It says, "Time is the most valuable thing we can spend." And that's very true. You know, I thought that was fitting because we've lost a lot of great people the last few weeks. You know, Hobson family, Zilka family, Plank family. Tonight we hear about Ellen's family. She's off because of that. And I tell you what, we're short amount of time here that God gives us, and very valuable time. So spend it with your loved ones each and every minute that you can, and enjoy it. We do have a short video we'd like to run, and I have some action items.
Hi there, I'm Tanya Cofield. Here's what's going on around Romulus. This Saturday is the 3rd annual Curling Royale. There's still time to pre-register your team of 4 at City Hall, or come solo and join a team on that day. The cost will be $10 per person, with proceeds benefiting local military families. This event is weather permitting. The Senior Center will be having their Valentine's Day luncheon on Monday, February 10th at 11 o'clock. As a reminder, winter taxes are due on Friday, February the 14th. The deadline to purchase your tickets for the Mother-Son Dance has been extended to Wednesday, February 5th at 3:30 p.m. Look forward to seeing you there. Now, here are some events from the Romulus Public Library.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Wilhoit and I'm the Assistant Director and Youth Services Librarian at the Romulus Public Library. On Wednesday, February 5th at 6 p.m. we have our family movie night. We will be watching the new version of The Addams Family. Come out and join us, and snacks and drinks are provided. Tuesdays at 6:30 through February 18th we have our family story time, and Wednesday mornings at 10:30 we have our toddler story time, and this runs through the end of March. And on February 26th, there will be no program.
Hello, this is the adult librarian at Romulus Public Library. On February 6th at 6 p.m., we'll have our craft club. Bring in your own crafts and socialize with other crafters. On February 10th, we will have the second Monday book club at 7 p.m., and we'll be discussing The Perfect Nanny by Layla Slimani.
For our good news, last week the Recreation Commission and Beautification Committee held a small ceremony before the City Council meeting to recognize the winners of the Holiday Home Decorating Contest. Congratulations to all who were honored. Thanks everyone. Remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. Have a great night.
Thank you. Now, Council, we do have some action items. Probably rather mayor's report, I should have called the Monty report, because they're all Captain Monty's tonight. First one that you have before you is a recommendation from Josh Monty, Police Captain and Legal Counsel. This is a request to concur the administration grant authorization for the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached grant agreement, and that's between the State of Michigan, Michigan Indigent Defense Commission, and the Department of Licensing and Regulation Affairs, or LARA, and the City of Romulus. It'll go from October 1, from last year to September 30th of 2020 this year. The local share amount is $55,315.75. The city will receive a prorated 25% of the total grant on May 15th of this year, and the remaining 25 on August the 14th of this year.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission grant FY20.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams, for the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission grant fiscal year 2020. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. Next request also is a recommendation of Josh Monty, Police Captain. And what you have before you is a request to concur the administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached contracts and service of independent contractors with the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission. Hourly attorneys, the attorneys are listed above. Those funds have been verified and available out of that Michigan Indigent Defense Fund account that's listed.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion that we concur with administration and authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached contracts for services of independent contractors.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, for the Michigan Indigent Defense Commission for hourly attorneys. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. The last action item is also for this item, and this is the budget amendment that goes along with it. To request to concur the administration introduce budget amendment 19/20-16 to recognize the anticipated revenues that'll be received from that grant and set up the anticipated line item budget for the additional operating expenses in the 1920 budget. Any revenues in excess of the expenditures will roll over into fund balance and will be utilized for the 2021 budget according to the state's grant period, and the attached memo is with it.
Through the chair, if I may,
Ms. Webb,
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and introduce the budget amendment.
Support.
it's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, introduction of the budget amendment. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to bring up Julie Albert, if I could, at the end of my report. This is in response to a request, and actually, we have 6B on the agenda. It was to do a study session that I put in a request for based on the visitors we had from the Civic League regarding some property. What I'm going to ask is that I was brought to my office that that's no longer being requested by the Civic League. So under 6B, I'm asking it to be no action, and I will have Julie Albert kind of fill you in, and you also have a memo documenting some of the timeline, so I'll turn it over to you. Thank you, Julie.
Hi, thank you. During public comment at the January 23rd council meeting, 2 residents came forward in regard to the vacant parcel of land that's owned by the Romulus Civic Center on Grover. They had questions in regard to the change in tax status and past due tax amounts. The timeline that was provided to council earlier shows that at least 6 notices of the change were mailed out to the Romulus Civic League since February of 2018. Since June of 2019, several city employees, as well as our city attorney, have met with Mr. Hester and Mr. Dixon in regard to the property. That we've met him at City Hall and on site to discuss options for this piece of land. I understand that the Civic League is not interested in selling the land. They wish to hold on to it for future development. A few of the options that were discussed included improving the vacant piece of land in line with the purposes for which the Civic League was incorporated. Perhaps a playground, a neighborhood playground, something to that effect, so that they would meet the requirements of the state law and the property tax exemption. Another option was to complete the paperwork to combine the vacant land parcel along with the Civic League parcel that has the building and the land, get the back taxes paid up, and submit that paperwork. As the mayor said, on tonight's agenda under 6B, there is a request for a study session for the 24th of February. As I understand it, Mr. Hester is no longer interested in the
Correct.
study session?
He stopped by my office and said they're no longer requesting that, so that they are going to move forward with some of the other action items.
As of today, the 2018 and 2019 property taxes are paid. So we have sent a letter to the officers of the Civic League outlining the next steps for them. They will have to pay the summer 2020 taxes. They're due by September 30th of 2020. And the winter taxes will have to be paid by December 31st in order for the combination application to be processed, so that we can combine the parcels for 2021, and all of their land will be tax exempt going forward. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Julie, for coming up.
Thank
And
you.
there is a written report with the timeline, so if you have any questions, I'll let Julie know or let my office know. And with that, that does conclude my report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Chairman, under the clerk's report, the Property Disposition Committee met on January 15th, 2020 to open the sealed final offers to the city and respectfully request City Council concurrence of the following recommendation. To approve the sale of parcel 80048990002000, known as 28585 Smith Street. It's vacant industrial land located on Smith, east of Middle Belt to Joseph Oran, in the amount of $36,101.99. A condition of the purchase is that the buyer has agreed to demolish the residence within 30 days of closing the buyer's expense. In September of 2018, City Council via Resolution Number 18-340 approved that this parcel be listed for sale with Metro Realty. And copies of the final offers to the city and tax map are included for your review.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move for the approval of the sale of 8004899002000, which is the address of 2858 Smith Road.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams, for approval of the sale of partial of the 28585 Smith. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And Mr. Chairman, under clerk's report B, no action. So I will move to clerk's report C.
Okay.
And that's a approval request from Mr. Roberto, Director of Department of Public Works for traffic control order.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
I'd like to make that motion to approve a no parking on both sides of Vining Road between Ecorse Road south to Smith Road, traffic control order.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Tally, for approval. Request from Roberto Scapitici for the traffic control order. Ms. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Tally,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Next on the agenda is Treasurer's Report number 7.
Thank you. Good evening, Council, Mayor, Deputy Clerk, and audience. I'd like to remind everyone that tax day is around the corner, and winter taxes are due on Friday, February 14th. Of course, you could still pay your summer as well. If you have any questions or want to stop in for an invoice, or if you need one, please give the office a call at 734-942-7580. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
And at this time is public comment. And this is the portion of the agenda for those in the audience who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. And if you'd like to address City Council, please raise your hand. And after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name and address. Please note, you have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time would be upon the consent of the chairperson. And
Any-
at this time, Mr. Chairman, excuse me, I do not have any one who petitioned or asked to speak.
Good, thank you. Any public comments? Ms. Lemon?
Good evening.
Good evening.
As chairman of the Cemetery Board of Trustees, a couple of us have been through the cemetery this week. The cemetery for this holiday was the nicest it has ever been. With the wreaths across America and the grave blankets, it just really stood out. Now comes the problem of removal. The cemetery board tries to help the city. This year we have some folks who have put their grave blankets on wooden easels. These are very heavy. We have a dumpster out by the shed. Anybody, they're starting to turn brown. Anybody who wishes, please go up and remove your gray blanket and put it in the dispenser by the shed. They're getting nasty, they're starting to look ugly, and this will stop the grass from growing pretty, so, because we're gonna be out there starting to clean it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Any other comments from the audience? If there's no more comments from the audience, we'll close that part out.
Mr. Chairman, number 9, unfinished business.
No business, okay.
Number 10, new business.
John?
Ms. Addo?
Oh, I'm sorry, mine's under communication.
Oh, okay,
So is mine.
okay. Go ahead.
And number 11, communication.
John, I have a couple.
Okay, Ms. Abdo.
All right, first of all, I'd like to announce that Friday is Kids Night Out at the RAC. If you are interested, this goes on from 6:30 to 10, and they would like you to pre-register. It's cheaper if you pre-register your child, but if not, you can bring them in as a drop-off. Again, it's this Friday, 6:30 to 10. And I'd also like to remind people that the Romulus Drug Task Force Bowling Fundraiser will be coming up February 29th. $20. All the proceeds go to scholarships that we provide for local high school students. And you can pick up tickets from me or from, I believe Romulus City Hall has them. You have them too, Stacy? Stacy's got them. And we appreciate your support.
Thank you. Ms. Webb?
Yes, I would like to ask for a memorial resolution if I can get support. Support. Thank you. I'm requesting this resolution for Tommy Laporte, the brother-in-law of Judy Laporte and brother of Troy Laporte. I'm sorry. Viewing and the funeral services were today, but I just found out about it, so thank you very much. We would indeed need to let the Laporte family know how much we care about them.
Thank you. Ms. Williams?
Yes, I would like to ask my colleagues to support a memorial resolution for our clerks.
We gotta vote on it.
We got
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Any other? Sally, you have?
We have to vote
No,
on
I'm talking, she had any comments?
Could I comment, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
on Tom Laporte, because I went to school with him, and it was a big deal. You know, he suffered the last few years, but great guy, great spirited guy, knew a lot of people, and I know he'll definitely be missed. I think they had a nice day today. They were doing a motorcycle send-off for him, and you know, he'll truly be missed. And it's been tough on that family, so just keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Webb, supported by Ms. Williams for memorial resolution. Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Okay, now.
Okay, all right.
I would like to ask my colleagues to support me in a memorial resolution for our clerk's brother, Ellen Craig Braggs. He passed away on last week. We don't have any information, but as the clerk send the information, we'll definitely get it.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for memorial resolution. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Communications next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So it's that time of year again. We have our annual Soul Food Dinner coming up. Save the date. It's Wednesday, February 26th. A partnership with the City of Romulus, Romulus Community Schools, and the Romulus Ministerial Alliance. It's the 19th year. We're going to do a couple of things different this year. Very different. I'm excited about the new changes. As you all know, we usually have it at the beginning of the month, but we're going to have it at the end of the month this year. So keep that in mind. Again, it's Wednesday, February 26th, starting at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna need all hands on deck with electeds because of the change in format. We're gonna need all hands on deck. So I'm gonna be extending that to our school board as well because we need all hands on deck. So keep that in mind for February 26th. If you can mark that down and let me know if you can serve. We're going to be preparing for that. The other thing we're doing differently is that we had our returning chef from the high school, Walter Banks, return to our Romulus Community Schools, which is awesome. And he and his culinary team will be preparing the soul food dinner this year. So, with that being said, we need donations for the food so that he can prepare the food with his culinary team. So we are accepting donations. You can see me, you can see my mom, Reverend Rita Talley, or Deb Latner, who's a committee member on the soul food dinner. My number is 313-408-3637. We need perishable. We're looking at elbow macaroni. We need string beans. We eat yams. We don't need anything cooked. It's all perishable items that we're looking for donations for. Or if you want to do a monetary donation so we can go purchase the food for the culinary team, it's completely up to you. We just need donations, so keep that in mind. And I want to thank the city for their donation already. They annually do it, and I already got their donation in hand. Thank you, my colleague, Ms. Williams, already then stepped up to the plate. And just come and see me. We're looking forward to another great soul food dinner this year, and the different format that we're going to be trying this year. So see me if you have any questions. The second thing, and I announced this at the last council meeting, is that Pentecost Baptist Church will be having a marriage ministry. If your marriage needs a tune-up or you just want to have a little fun, see Reverend Willis. It's February 14th and 15th. Register now. And his number is 734-728-1390 if you want to sign up for the Marriage and Couples Conference. Thank you.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Webb?
Thank you, Councilwoman Talley. The only thing that I guess I can request, Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
since we will not be cooking or adding to, would you still bring me a pot of your greens?
Oh, sure, Ms. Webb.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome, Ms. Okay. Wow. That made my night.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
In motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams, for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Webb.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo. Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.